Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about the movie Texas Chainsaw 3D. This movie had its moments, but in general it was not so good. Heather Miller, where the film follows, who is traveling through Texas with her boyfriend Ryan to collect an inheritance. Little does she know that an encounter with a chainsaw-wielding killer is part of her reward. It is absolutely traditional slasher film with a plot you all know so well. Young adults with classically skanky good looks go into the country where they are met with a force of evil, the Leatherface that you've already met. As expected, the gorier moments are designed to take full advantage of the 3D format, with various appendages flying at the screen. But instead of being just another slash and stalk affair, the film is evidently more of a mystery.
This book becomes a teen melodrama set in a coastal North Carolina port. Cocky, popular high school student Landon Carter, who is Shane West, is the big man on campus at Beaufort High School until a hazing incident leaves a fellow student paralyzed. Sentenced to community service and membership in his school's drama club, Landon is forced to seek help from Jamie Sullivan, who plays her. Mandy Moore is the one who plays her. The conservative, religious, plain Jane daughter of the town's Baptist minister, Peter Coyote. When the two students begin to fall in love, Landon struggles with the drop in popularity that his new friendship brings, while Jamie is forced to deal with her strict father and a secret that she's keeping from her schoolmates. A Walk to Remember, which co-stars Daryl Hannah, is the second of Sparks' novels to make it to the big screen after Message in a Bottle in 1999. This movie is a 5-star rated and is directed by Adam Shankman.
Recently, I watched the movie Horton Hears a Who. The movie is based on Dr. Seuss's book, Horton Hears a Who. I'm a big fan of Dr. Seuss. Probably read all his books back when I was little, and that's about all I still read. Anyways, the movie is very colorful, like Dr. Seuss movies should be, and the animation is very lively. The forest is very lush, and Horton looks like an elephant should look in a cartoon. Horton Hears a Who is a showcase of visual inventiveness and technical flair that characterizes Hollywood financed children's animation these days. It also shows some more of the limitations of computer animation talking animal genre. The filmmaker reveals in the imagination. Okay, stop that. When it comes to telling the story, however, and drawing out the dimensions of the characters, this Horton supplements Dr. Seuss's fable with pages from the battered, worn-out Hollywood family film playbook. All kinds of extraneous elements are added to the story. The mayor of Whoville, voiced by Steve Carell, is a dad who has trouble communicating with his son, a moody emo named Jojo. The problem with this father-son reconciliation narrative is not that it is unseussian, though such melodrama almost never figured in Dr. Seuss's work, but that is tired and sentimental. Horton Hears a Who probably won't last, at least as a commercial proposition, but the star whose presence is clearly meant to be the gold-plated guarantee of success. Jim Carrey as Horton.
Hey guys, so I recently watched a documentary film called Into the Universe with Stephen Hawking, where he discusses the topic of God. Now, this topic is very controversial because it goes against religion. This argument has been going on since a long time. The film is a very good film because of the way Hawking explains it. You don't need to know anything about science in order to understand it. Hawking first takes us on a journey to the time of the Vikings. When Vikings traveled by sea, storms would be cast on them by the sea and sky gods. One special god, the wolf god, would eat the sun, causing the sun to go away. We now know that this is a solar eclipse, that it wasn't the works of God, but rather the laws of nature at work. Next, he talks about a philosopher that questions the power of the church. His name was Aristotle. He said that the sun is the center of the universe, and that the earth goes around the sun, and that the moon goes around the earth. When he proposed this theory, he was put in prison for the last 9 years of his life, and everyone rejected this idea until a bold scientist named Galileo made a telescope and he observed the planet of Saturn. He noticed that there were 4 moons that were sort of close to it, and once in a while one of those moons would go behind the planet of Saturn, so you wouldn't see that one, so there'd only be 3. So he proved Aristotle's theory that the sun wasn't the center of the universe. Hawking talks about Einstein and how he proposed the famous equation of E equals mc squared, which stands for energy equals the mass times the speed of light squared, which basically meant that there were enormous amounts of energy in everything. Hawking then states that in order to create a universe you would need 3 things: matter, energy, and space. But if Einstein's equation was right, you would only need 2 things: energy and space, since energy and matter were basically the same thing. Hawking then says something really interesting. He said, imagine a river flowing down a mountain. Where did the water come from? Well, you could say rain, right? So, where did the rain come from? You could say evaporation from the ocean that made clouds, and the sun heating up the ocean, making the clouds. And then you could ask yourself, where did the sun come from? Well, the sun is a ball of hydrogen gas which makes a nuclear reaction called fusion that makes enormous amounts of energy. And you could then say, where does this hydrogen come from? Well, this hydrogen came from the Big Bang.